I'll have either me or Adam reach out to you guys and do that. So on that, let's get started. So obviously www.specificsolutions.com. So assuming some of you guys are registered, some of you have not, so we're going to quickly show you guys how to do that. So you're going to click on the login. And then if you're a first-time user, you're going to click here to register. And you're just going to put in some basic information in. Then at the end of it, click register. One thing, strong password required, meaning it's got to say strong. If you guys are having issues, just give us a call. We'll help you make your password. Reason being is we just have a lot of case status information, so we want to make sure it's as secure as possible. Once you're approved, if you want instant access within a few seconds, just give us a call, ask us to approve you. If not, usually takes about a half hour. It's a manual process. So we'll approve you because we got to link in your internal contact to make sure you have case status. So it takes about a half hour to an hour. But if, like I said, if you need instant access, just give us a call, agency@specificsolutions.com, or call me and I can approve you right away. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get logged in here. Okay, so perfect. All right, so when you log in, it's a welcome screen. It gives you a slider, so we update these usually weekly for anything that is you guys might be interested in, webinars, new software that we load, all kinds of stuff like that. I want to hit on one thing. If you do not get our mailings for email, you can scroll right down and click join our mailing list. That will link you into our mailing list. What that does, every Thursday we send out annuity rates. It also, we use it for alerts. If rates are going down, a product's going away, stuff like that, we will immediately send out to that email group. If we're closed for a blizzard, if we have limited remote people, stuff like that gets sent out through that one. And then any webinars like this one and other ones get sent out as well. So highly recommend it. We do not overblast. At most, you'll probably get 2 to 3 emails from us a week. So highly recommend that. Our next feature we're going to go over is the direct upload. The direct upload is HIPAA compliant. So if you have any apps, if you have any forms you need to send us, licensing paperwork, anything you need to send us that you either don't want to send in an email or you forgot how to send a secure email, you can actually just go to our website, click upload documents. This will load up. Then all you do is just put your name, your email in, drag the file, and then when you click upload, it will immediately go to us. So it just needs some basic information. So if you know it needs to go to Betty, attention Betty, we'll figure out where it goes, but that always helps. And then you will just drag a file and then click upload. It will go green when it's successful, so I would wait for that. And then that actually alerts 3 employees here. So if anybody's out, we get a notification, we download it, delete it, and send it to the right person. So definitely highly recommend that to use. Our next is the contact sheet. So you click contact us. This has everybody that works at Specific Solutions and what department they're in. It has their email address, and it also has a phone button for their direct extension. So if you're not familiar with the person that emailed you, or you want to contact commissions for some reason or licensing, you can go here, see who it is, click on it, and it will be taken right to you. See my beautiful kids on there. They're both the Chief Smile officers here. You got administration, you got general office. So all these are real links to their extensions and their emails. So anytime you need to contact any member here, if you forget their email, their extension, go here and it'll have all that information. Next up, we're going to do some quotes. Oh, I went too fast. So you go to transact, then you click quotes. It will take you to our quote field. Few things to hit on. The health questionnaires is underutilized, and it shouldn't be because it's fantastic. We've put a lot of work into this. So you can click on health questionnaires, and this is a list of the most common disorders we see and what questions to ask. So you do not have to be an expert in any field. If you know they have something, click it on. Heart murmur, let's take a look at, and it will have all the questions we would need to quote it. So if you know they have a heart murmur and you're about to send us a quote request, get as much information on this, send it along with the quote request, and then we have underwriting manuals that we know what questions we need answered to better rate that client. So they're awesome to use. I would highly recommend after just taking a look at all of them. We have general use ones too. I'll show you a better one in a bit, but we have all these general ones too. If you just want to, if you're getting into the business of quoting, you're not sure what to ask, they're great little things just to kind of have on your desk. We get back to the quotes field. So there's a few things. If you're a person that likes to run quotes, I'll show you how to run quotes real quick. If you're somebody who likes to send it to us, both are perfectly fine. We have some quote tickets for you. This is the quote ticket we have. This one's really in depth. So if you're newer to quoting, stuff like that, keep this on your desktop or have it printed out and just run through all these questions when you're getting ready to quote somebody. Super, super awesome to have. You won't forget a question that you be like, oh, I forgot to ask them that. Run it all through, and then you can either run your quote after this, or you can send this along to us, and then we know exactly how to quote your client. As always, the more information we have, the better chance of us quoting it correctly. We have a long-term care fact finder. So if you're new to long-term care quotes, this helps quote it. DI fact finder as well. I use these all the time too. I keep them on my desk, just pull them out when I have something, write it all down. And then once I hang up, we got all the information we need. And then let's run some quotes. So you're going to click quotes. And then our quote system will populate. Set up a profile since this is a dummy profile. All right. Super easy to use. Valued client. My date of birth. Term length. We have term and GUL you can quote on here. Let's do 20, 10, 20, and 30. Let's do 100,000 to 250,000. I'll lie to myself and say I'm preferred best. And then you'll be able to run them from there. Let's see. Oh, 31 already. That's crazy. Let's see. Question: are all online forms fillable? Yes, they are, and I worked very, very hard to make sure they are fillable. Yes, they are all fillable, and you can even save them onto your desktop if they're a super common one you have, and then you'll be able to save it on your desktop and keep whatever forms you'd like. So here's the quote field. So you can run them real quick, and then all you can do is if you want to present it to your client, you just do this. Click the tabs for the durations. And then the other face amount will be on the lower amount. On the lower side, I should say. And then once you clicked which ones you wanted, I'm doing annual premium, but you can adjust whichever one you want. Click download. I personally like the comparison ledger. I think it's a good thing to show your clients. So that's the one that I usually use. So what it does is it gives a breakdown of everything. So it looks real clean cut. It's awesome. So you'll see this. I'll have a client name, the age, so you can even confirm the date of birth, make sure you ran it correctly. Then it has all the breakdowns of the first one. So you got 100K, 10, 20, 30. And then on the 250, same thing. I always do this, especially in this world of Reg 187, or even if you're out of state. When you make a sale, have them sign it. Keep it in your file so you can show that you shopped it. If there's any issues or questions, you can say, look, I shopped it with all these carriers. This is why we went with, Prudential. And then you can just save it right up here like a normal PDF. All right, we're going to keep moving on. Next is annuities. You're going to go to transact annuities. There is not a limit. The question was limiting on comparing companies. There's not a limit, but good rule of thumb is I usually do 2 or 3 duration. That way it gives it a good field of questions or carriers that you looked at to shop. But no, that is a good question. If it's just a 10-year term, I usually do 5 carriers just to fill the page. So on this annuity page, we have a little quick boom of the highest rates. So you can go here every morning, see how the rates are looking. And then we partnered with Annuity Rate Watch, about 2 or 3 years ago, and I incorporated it on there into our system. So what it does is allow a real-time situation on annuity rates. So if you are in the business, I recommend making this just part of your morning coffee. When you're checking your emails, go on here, check the rates. So I'll just show you this really quick. And right there, it gives you all the fields of everything. And you can get all the information you need for the annuity. So super cool, super awesome. I get in more depth, but I'm trying to stay within that 15 to 20-minute range. So as soon as rates change, they get notified. It'll go right on here. It's fantastic to use. All right, we're going to hit up applications. We're going to go to transact, applications. So you got 2 options. You can either do IGO, which is a fancy word for e-app, or launch applications form, which is paper. Click on the application forms. And again, do it yourself, have us do it. Either way, if you do get applications, always recommend calling us, making sure you're appointed. If you're not appointed, make sure that you're getting the appointment paperwork to make sure you don't need to be, pre-appointed or anything like that. You're just going to go down the line, pick what you want, and then here are all the forms, and then you can print them and email to yourself. So super cool on that. The IGO, again, good amount available in New York, but outside New York, everything's IGO. So it's super easy. You just click start a new case, put in the parameters. It will actually tell you, I'll do New York 10 term product and what's available. So these are e-apps, fill them out, really can't mess up, goes to your client for signature. Then actually, once we get it, we can actually automatically transact it immediately to the carrier to start the underwriting. Super cool, highly recommend. If you want more information on that, shoot me an email. There's actually a welcome video I can send you. All right, so on expedite, case status, this is a real-time case status connected to our internal system. You can go here, see what you need. So this is a fake case I created. Shows you all your outstanding forms, all the completed forms, and the basic information of the client. And you can actually go in and directly message your case manager if you don't want to call them or send them an email. You can click on, hi, did you get the check I mailed? And it will actually go right to the client, right to the case manager, and actually will go on to their dashboard to respond. And once they respond, it will show up in there, or they'll shoot you an email or give you a call. Super cool. We're just going to hit on policy review real quick. So expedite on policy review. Generic page, generic information. But the reason I'm showing you this, if you need the authorization, you can't find the one that we sent you, just click this one. There's the generic one that you can use for us. Super cool, super needed. If you ever lose it, it's right there. On licensing, usually Kelly's the one that will send you, so when we send out an app, we CC her. But if for some reason you decided you want to write a carrier that you were exploring yourself, just go to contract and licensing, and you can actually just click request assistance. Put your name, your email, phone number. Please send me National Life appointment paperwork. Click submit. Goes right to us. We'll send you the paperwork over immediately, within a few minutes, and that will expedite that process as well. So super cool little things on there that a lot of people don't realize is there. So when you get into the welcome dashboard, really cool thing we're starting to do is the educational events. What that is any carrier-based or any webinars we host will actually post on this upcoming events. So we have a long-term care 101, the basics by Mutual of Omaha coming up. Highly recommend. It's gonna be awesome. Click on these events, once a week, go in here, see what's available, what's nice, give you a little summary of what it is, and then obviously the registration links to get on those. Definitely underutilized, and it should be free education. Why not? And the last little bit, expedite, we go to Absolution. Most of you are familiar with Absolution. If not, I'm going to give a quick rundown right now. We'll do a little summary, and then whoever wants to stay on and get a little bit more in depth, we can. Absolution, program we launched in 2020, late 2019. Basically, the summary is we do the app. We send it for you for signatures. You don't have to worry about the paperwork. So to get started, we'll go into the restrictions. Take a look before you fill out the forms. It might be a restricted carrier. If you have any questions on that, of course, you can always email us at agency@specificsolutions.com or anything else. To get started, the great summary is you schedule your appointment with your client. You're going to put your date, the name. Pick one first. Let's see, 1 p.m. That works. You're going to put your name, your last name, the client's first name, client's last name, their phone number, their email, very, very, very important, then your name. What that does is it actually auto sends them reminders and confirmations as well. Once you do that, you go to the complete online interview form, fill out this whole form. Should take you about 10 minutes. You're going to sign it. You're going to click here, agree, sign it, and then click submit. It will say if it was successfully submitted right here, so please pay attention to that. Once that's done, if you do have a quote that you already sold, click the upload feature. It takes you exactly to what we showed up again, the secure upload, and then we'll put that in the file. Last thing, if they're older, not techie, don't have an email for whatever reason, you can actually just print this off and get the wet signature and send it to us for the HIPAA, which we send out once we process. Other than that, I'm going to summarize. I kept it under 20 minutes. Does anybody have any questions? I'll leave it open for probably about a minute, and then I'm just going to review the Absolution for probably another 4 or 5 minutes if anybody wants to get a little bit more in depth. But I'll hold for questions for about 60 seconds. I know it was fast. Wanted to give a quick 101. Hopefully it entices you to reach out to us to get maybe a little more in depth, or if you want to explore, that would be great too. If you do the quote, do need to upload it Absolution. I would recommend it. We will check just to make sure you did not mess up the quote. I know everybody's very good with quotes, but it's a very common occurrence that you forgot that they were female and they were male or something like that. So I do recommend that you upload the quote that you sold just so we can check. If you do not, and it's a term, GUL, we'll try to match your premium that's on the interview form. If it matches, we'll put that into the file and we won't reach out. If for whatever reason we couldn't match it, we'll reach out to you then to get the correct or correct quote to see what's going on. All right, with that, I'm going to go in a little bit more in depth with the Absolution. So we've done about 4,000 of these, so we definitely have tweaked the process where I think it's a really good process. So we'll start with just the restrictions. So the most common one we run into is the Banner Life. So that is William Penn outside New York. We are unable to do that. The reason being is they're moving to a new system. So we push towards the App Assist. If you insist on doing your own e-app, once you're appointed with them and Banner Life, they do have a section of their website that you can do an e-app for. John Hancock of New York, Surety, and Annuity products. For wet signatures, what that just means is there's one form that good old New York State hasn't approved. So we just send out the whole application for signatures, mostly because trying to get the same dates on a one-page DocuSign and an application is next to impossible. William Penn that has a replacement, US Life that has a replacement, American General, Corbridge, Protective Life, Security Mutual, AXA, Securian Products, Mass Mutual prior to the appointment being completed. And the Securian applications are over 1.5 million. So on this, we'll do a little bit more of a test. So we'll schedule an appointment. I'll show you how to do it. So you can click the dates. I'll go into March because there's more dates. So let's do February 6th. It will show you the times you can pick. And if you are not in New York, if you need to change the time zone, you can, and it will show up on your time. And then when it gets sent to us, it reverts back to Eastern, so we know what time for our time is. So we're going to do a 10 a.m. We're going to do a client name, last name. We'll do our phone number here. And what that phone number does is it will text them 24 hours before and 2 hours before, just to make sure that they're aware that they have their interview. The email sends a confirmation and a reminder. We also use that email. It's also on the interview form to send out the HIPAA once we process it. The HIPAA's got to be signed prior to the interview, of course. The agent will make it myself. And it's been confirmed. And a good note is on that confirmation, your client can actually reschedule the interview up to 24 hours before the interview. So if they do need to reschedule it, they can actually do that. And then, of course, we would let you know. The next, we're going to do complete the interview form. And again, this is just reminding that you reviewed those products. So we're going to do a Securian, let's say. It's going to be life insurance. The state's going to be New York. If you have a weird one where the owner's in New York, the insured's in Pennsylvania, the trust is in Florida, and 5 other people are in different states, give us a call. We'll tell you which state to use. Some carriers have different parameters, so always don't be afraid to shoot us an email. The product name is a 30-year term, let's say. Super important, if you just put term, we're going to reach out to you to confirm which term duration you'd like. And the death benefit will do 250,000. Plan premium is the one that you quoted. Again, we'll match those premiums if we don't have a quote. It'll be an annual premium. No, we're not going to replace coverage. We're not saving age. We don't need to bind coverage. And bind coverage is we can take money when the app is taken. And if they were to be insured, if the carrier would insure them and they passed during application process, the death benefit would be paid out. That's what that is. Is it business insurance? No. Is it 1035? No. Policy owner, let's say it's going to be Brandon Long. Primary beneficiary will be my wife. Complete 187 forms. This should 99.9999% of the time be yes. And did you complete your 187 training for that state training and product specific training? If you don't know, put no. If you're out of New York, put NA. We still check it, but it's always good to know if we know right off the bat you haven't done it. Client name will be me, let's say, date of birth. My primary phone number. This phone number is what we use to call them, so please make sure it's correct. And the email address, this is the one that we use to send out the HIPAA. And the rate class is preferred, let's say. I've never used nicotine. Just keep putting none. If not, please put it e-cigarette, chewing, cigarettes, cigars, put it there. That's also, we also use that because when we review it, if we spot an issue, we'll reach out to you. So if you put preferred non-smoker and he's currently smoking a joint a day, we'll call you and be like, that's not going to work. Or if we find out that they're, you quoted preferred, then we found out that they're 51300, we're going to call and say, hey, these don't match. Do you still want, excuse me, do you still want us to run the app the way it is? Our address should be the address of them. And the state. Male or female, male. Last 4 social security number. Crucial that this is filled in. Crucial, crucial, crucial. This is the access code that we use to send out the HIPAA. If you put 000, 1, 2, 3, 4, we cannot process this. We will reach out to you. So super important that you guys put the correct. Now, if you're getting it and they just haven't texted you back or you haven't returned the call, fill out the form. You can say in the comments, I'll show you, waiting for last 4 social security number. We will not process it, but at least we know that you're obtaining it. Income, we'll do 15,000. Net worth 15,000, insurance agent, employer. And then this is the notes page. This is a freehand waiting on the last four, replacing, principal policy, policy number, boom. As much information as you have that we're gonna ask makes this process faster. If we have the information we need, we're down to 10 minutes. I've seen 4 minutes sometimes. So if you have the replacing stuff that you might have wrote that we're replacing, or they gave it to you when you were quoting, put that info in there, helps us because we populate as much as we can to speed up the process. And the agent name is you. And you're gonna do this, make sure you're not robots. I agree to HIPAA statement. What that means is this is just a HIPAA protected form. And you're gonna sign it real quick, and then you're gonna submit it. It will, if you miss something, if I miss something, it will spit back to me. If not, you will get this sentence showing that it was submitted. It all goes blank. But if you have that sentence, it's been submitted successfully. I've unfortunately seen agents that have done it again, or they've done it twice, 3 times. If you, for some reason, think it wasn't submitted successfully, just give us a call. We probably haven't processed it yet, but we can look in the folder to see if it's there. So super, super important that if you see this, it's good. You're good. Alrighty then. We're going to go back to that page. If you have a quote, you can use the upload form. I'll do one in a second, actually. And then if for some reason, older client, not techie, younger, don't have an email, all that kind of stuff, you can click here. This is a blank HIPAA form with the flyer. And a good note to have, when they sign the DocuSign for the HIPAA, they're also forced to sign the flyer. This flyer gives some information on how to be prepared, what information to be ready for, medical, driver's license, reasons why they took medication, all that sort of stuff. So it really helps them understand what they need. So then we can just get started as soon as possible. If you want to review more stuff, whole process is here, how to submit an absolution, which is basically what we just did, how to sign using a DocuSign, which I'm sure most of you have used it for your other jobs or stuff like that. We have a step-by-step DocuSign guide to walk you through it. And we have advisor training material on what we just went over. If you want to refresh yourself at any point, you can also click that as well. And some people just saying how awesome our process is. Let's see. So let's do the uploading feature real quick. Let me see if I got something. Yeah, I'll upload that quote. Perfect. All right, so it's going to load up. We use a third-party software. It'll take a second to load up. Switch my copy. While we're waiting, does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns? And additional details if you want to explain what it is, new app for new business. Doesn't have to be, but you can do that. Then all you do is click and drag, and then click upload. You'll see the percentages as it's loading. Takes a few seconds, few minutes, depending on how big the file is. And then it should turn green if I remember correctly. Yeah, uploaded. Good to go. You can get out of it. So that's a really cool, convenient way to upload stuff. Instantaneously comes to us. We have 3 people that get the email notifications. It's me, my counterpart, Angela, and then Carolyn, our policy service person. So if any of us are out or I'm in a meeting, she's in a meeting, there's always somebody that's monitoring it. So it's super convenient. And then I will just quickly go into the annuity rate watch one more time to kind of get a little bit more in depth. And then I will end this webinar. If anybody wants to see anything a little bit more in depth, feel free. I'll see what it is, and if I can run it real quick, I will. So if you're an assistant, recommend it to your agent. If you are the agent, recommend. If you sell annuities, get on this page in the morning. I'm sure you're having coffee or your drink, you're loading up your email. Pop on. right here will tell you if there's any decreases and when the rates are. Yes, we do send out mailers, but I tell every agent, get in the habit of just going on here and looking at anything that's going on, up or down, or the same for that matter. Super, super convenient. I do it myself. And sometimes I don't know how, but Annuity Rate Watch has beaten us, and we get internal correspondence from the carriers before, they release it. But sometimes, they've beaten us to the punch. MYGA is what 90% of you guys are selling. You can go into New York, and it's really good for education too. Pick the duration. Super good for education if you're just getting into annuities or new products. You can click on it. Here, this is showing the decrease we just sent out yesterday. If you need more information on the product, this loads it all up. Super cool, gives you all the information you need, gives you the rates, gives you the riders, withdrawal provisions, specific states that it's approved on, and it even shows you the rate history as well. And there's really two cool things too. You can request an application from here, which immediately comes to us, and we'll send you over the quote. If you are with a client, I recommend calling us, of course, but within usually about 10 or 15 minutes, we send over the application. And if you're doing a sale, again, Reg 187, you got to protect your butt. You can print the list, New York, 5-year. You can print the report to a PDF. This is what it will look like. Have them sign it, put it in your file. Shows that you shopped all the rates, you circled which one you guys were going to. Super cool, super convenient, and it shows that you shopped it so you don't have to worry about anything. That's what I always recommend to the agents, of course. And if you ever have some free time, SBLI is one of those who's got, 500 different products. You can click on all different ones they have, click on it, and it shows you what it does, why it is, what's interesting about it. It's super cool, super interactive. You can read all kinds of stuff, the surrender charges, renewal charges, withdrawal provisions, super, super convenient. All right. I'm going to wait for one more minute to see if anybody's got any questions, comments, or wants to see anything. And then I will do closing remarks. I'm going to have a sip of my coffee, see if there's any questions, and then we will end it. All right, I'm going to take that as I was amazing. No, I'm just kidding. So I appreciate you guys all jumping on. If you guys have any more questions, want to go into something in depth, or even if you have a suggestion, shoot me an email, belong@specificsolutions.com, or give me a call, extension 227. But other than that, I appreciate you guys joining. And again, I thank you for your business, and let me know if there's anything I can help you with. All right, guys, have a good one.